All right, folks, welcome back. Steve Malzberg live with you from our New York City studios. And we are going to get right to the very busy phones at 877 Newsmax, 877-639-7629. You know, it's interesting. When I was on CNN's Reliable Sources on Sunday, Brian Stelter, the host, said, when I told him we take phone calls on the show, he said, "Ooh, risky." I said, "We got the greatest callers. What are you talking about, risky?" Anyway, there we go. I just jinxed myself. Let's go out to Larry in Chevy County, Texas. Hello, Larry.
Hey, how you doing, Steve?
I'm well. Thanks for calling.
Oh, you betcha. Hey, I'm a Trump supporter, and I'd like to say I don't see how people consider Ted to be not in the establishment. He's served in government several different ways, and if Trump would do half of what he says, he'll do 100% more than the rest of them.
Well, I think that Ted Cruz, not one senator has come out to support him. He's been called all kinds of names by John McCain and Lindsey Graham and the traditional establishment Republicans. And, he staged a filibuster against the advice of leadership. So I think you would agree that that's outside the establishment, wouldn't you?
Well, maybe. But, if you think about it, he's got a lot in common with Mr. Obama. He's got the same attitude, except he's on the far right instead of the far left.
Possibly. I mean, as far as my way or the highway, possibly. But, there are a lot of people, Larry, so you're a Cruz guy, right?
No, I'm Trump.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. You're a Trump guy. I'm sorry. You're a Trump guy. Well, there are a lot of people who say you can't compromise with the Barack Obama. You can't compromise with the Democratic Party as it exists today because it's too far to the left. Let me ask you one question. Does it bother you that Trump says, I like Nancy Pelosi, I like Harry Reid, I like Charles Schumer? Does that scare you at all?
Well, I don't care if you like them, as long as you just don't agree with them.
Well, that's a good answer. That's the key. We'll have to wait and see. Larry, thank you very much for weighing in. I appreciate it, sir. Now from Texas, we go to St. Louis, Missouri, and say hello to Ronald. Hey, Ronald, thanks for weighing in, sir.
Oh, how you doing, Steve?
Good. How are you, sir?
Talk to you.
Thank you.
Yeah, on Donald skipping the debate, I don't think it had any effect on it because that was the sixth debate, and everything is just a repeat. I think he could have probably done better in Iowa if he talked to smaller groups and gave people chances to ask him questions. And I think one big mistake he makes is he always elaborates on his poll numbers when I think most voters just don't care. I think his support people, he needs more. They need to get out knocking on doors and talking to potential voters.
I think you make a lot of good points. I think the bravado of the polls, I don't think people care. And I do think, especially in Iowa, perhaps more there than anywhere else, he needed to go to smaller venues, talk to people more one-on-one, more so than the bigger venues. And I think, I think he's learned from that. Do you think going forward he'll operate a little differently?
I certainly hope he will. And I watched it last night and I heard his, you might say his farewell speech. And I think he learned a lot. I watched one of his earlier New Hampshire town hall meetings he held in a small group of people, answered a lot of questions. He was very calm, and I think the people really enjoyed themselves.
Yeah. So. No, I think he's great one-on-one. I've been with him one-on-one, and he's he's a great communicator. Not to steal a phrase from Ronald Reagan, but he certainly is, and could sway people and awe people as he's done throughout business and personal life. Thank you very much. Good to hear from you, Ronald. Appreciate it. Let's go to Richard. Richard is in Bluffington, South Carolina. Hello, Richard.
Hello, Steve. How are you?
I'm fine. Thanks for calling. I really appreciate it, sir.
I really appreciate you and your new channel. And I wanted to first say the gentleman, your screener, was very polite and very professional. I just wanted to let you know.
He was a Marine. That's Michael. He's the best.
No wonder he knows about Parris Island.
There you go.
In any event, the reason I called was I was really concerned about what took place in Iowa last night regarding Ted Cruz's people and
Yes.
Dr. Carson.
Yes.
It really bothered me because it's one of those underlying things that, people are going to move on, and not people are, other than bringing it up, really aren't saying much about it. That situation, in my mind, had a tremendous impact on what took place.
Well, let me
in
explain
Iowa.
real quick, Richard. Not to cut you off, but we are out of time in this segment. Please call again. Ted Cruz's people, based on a CNN report, they interpreted it to mean that Ben Carson was out of the race. And they told some people allegedly at the caucus, and therefore they voted for Cruz instead of Carson. Cruz apologized. Carson is still mad, and CNN says, we did nothing wrong. We're coming back.